So, if you go like that, that's 3 feet. Yeah, because this is 3 feet. About 3 feet. One arm. And then this is 6 feet. Yeah. Yeah. Not quite. But anyway, it's good. Okay, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Center. Inhale, exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right, 2, 3. To your left, 2, 3. Center. Inhale, exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, one more time. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands in your waist. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Okay, reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center cross. Knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center, hands on your waist. Neck turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Tilt to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Rotating. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Center. Hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, spread your feet. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, turn. Stretch it out. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, we'll shake it out. Okay. Pull in, inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, hands your waist. Shoulder roll. Reverse. Okay, center. Press. Release. Exhale. Inhale. And stop. Hands up. Pull in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, palms down. Make a circle. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, two, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Side to sides. Okay, ready? And center. Okay, lift the knee. And center. Okay, up and down, insert needle. Switch. And center. Shake it out. Leg swing. And switch. And center. Okay, side to side. Switch. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, silk rilling. Switch. Okay, open and close. Switch. Okay, center. Circle movements. Okay, lower hook. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Okay, lower. Palms down. Extend. Keep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, center. Cloud hands. Okay, palms down. Lift up, carry tiger to the mountain. next, infinity sign. Okay, form the fists. Okay, palms together, strum the lute. Turn, drop, bow. Hands at the back. Okay, raise the hand. Okay. Deep breathing, inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Is everyone feel ready to go through the form? So we can shift this way a little bit if you. No, you can. No, you're fine. Peter might have to shift this way a little. Otherwise, he'll end up in the other room. Okay, ready? Preparation, begin. Short form. Okay, deep breathing. So any questions before we move on to the long form? Everybody okay? And no? Okay, so we'll go through the long form. Single whip. Hold the ball. Shift your weight. Step up. Press forward. Press down. Lift up. Bend from the waist. Stalk flaps wings. Brush knee 4 times. Strum the lute. Neutral vertical. Close the door. Form the fists. Divert, block, and punch. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Bring it down. Carry tiger to the mountain. Oblique brush knee push. Left side. 180-degree turn. Brush knee and push. Grasp the sparrow's tail on the oblique. Oblique single whip. Okay. Turning, pivot, fist under elbow. Carry tiger to the mountain. Hold the ball. Shift, diagonal flying, step up. Press forward to stalk flaps wings. Brush knee and push. Insert the needle. Fan to the back. Turn. Stroke down. Parry and punch. Retreat. Reverse the stance. Divert, block, and punch. Step up. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Cloud hands. Turn. Set of kicks. High pat the horse. Right instep kick. Left instep kick. Turn. Left heel kick. Brush knee. Right and left sides. Planting punch. Turn. Parry and punch. Step up. High pat the horse. Beat the tiger. Right side. Turn. Left side. Turn. Lower hoop. Cross the arms. Right heel kick. 2 punches to the ear. Flip the hands. Parting leg. Turn. Flip the hands. Parting leg. Stroke down. Parry and punch. Form the fist. Step up. And punch. Divert, block, and punch. Cross the arms. Leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Bring the palms down. Turn. Carry tiger to the mountain. Sit back. Cross the arms. Turn. Oblique brush knee. Second set. Grasp the sparrow's tail. To single whip. Hold and reverse the ball. Diagonal flying. Right side. Turn. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane. Right side twice. Step up, step through. Left side forward. Stroke down. Pot the horse's mane left side. Sit back. Step up. Stroke down. That's a pull down. 2 more. Is 1, and 2. Total 5 part the horse's mane. Cross corner, 4 Jade Lady work shuttles. Sit back, pivot, sit back, pivot, shift your weight, step up, go forward, backward, Jade Lady work shuttle, right side to pot the horse's mane, right side. Cross over, left side Jade Lady work shuttle, shift and pivot, shift and pivot. Cross over, step up, right side, Jade Lady work shuttle, grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists back to the front. Okay, here we go. Hold the ball. Second set of cloud hands. And back to single whip to first downward posture. Snake sticks out tongue. Turn, pull down. Step up to cross hand. Pass through the cross hand positions to golden cockroach stance on one leg. Press down. Kick. Draw the knee back. Reverse the stance. Repulse the monkey second set. Third, repulse the monkey left side, going back. Neutral position, right side. Lower the hands, turn. Carry tiger to the mountain. Okay, open the stance. Hold the ball. Shift the weight, step up. Forward. Press down. Raise the hand. Then from the waist, stalk flaps wings. Turn. Toe heel pivot. Brush knee one time. Sit back. Set up your hands. Insert the needle. Second set. Second time. Fan to the back. Turn. Parry and punch. Step up, form the fist, step through, punch. Divert, block, and punch. Step up, pass through neutral, grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists, turn back to the front. Third set of cloud hands. Next, set up your hands, palm strikes face. Single lotus kick. Left side brush knee and push. Step up, turn, twist step, punch down to crotch. Step up, grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists, single whip. Okay. Snake sticks out tongue, pull down, step up, cross hands, 7-star, retreat, ride the tiger, palm strikes face, turn, double lotus, draw bow to shoot tiger, step up, high pat the horse, or actually palm strikes face again. Turn, this is your parry and punch. Set it up for high pat the horse. And we're going to step up again to grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay, deep breathing. So see the collars? Do you think that's intentional or is it a mishap? Huh? The collars? You think it's intentional or not intentional? No, intentional or not intentional? This is a trick question. It's a trick question. See, so there's a reason for everything, right? So this is called a yin-yang collar. One in, one out. I just made that up. I wanted to fix that days ago, but Anyway, so it's hot. We can open the window in the back there if you want. So we have. So I had a couple of the ceiling's coming down. They're doing solar panels up on the roof. So in case you didn't know, I had a couple of questions the other day that was kind of interesting, and I think maybe it might be something that would be helpful to you because of this couple had a question. I thought maybe would apply to you. So one of the things was that a lot of times people are concerned with breath and breathing in the form or breath and movement. So one of the things that when people do the form, they say, well, where's the breath and the movement? So you've heard of Qigong, right? Qigong is breath and movement, but there's different varieties of Qigong, but typically it's breath and movement. And a lot of the Qigong development is from centuries ago, because they realized back then that the breathing was important. So breath and movement could be meditative, it could be just focus on your breathing as one way of doing it, or understanding how the breath works. So Tai Chi is classified as a Qigong exercise. So because Qigong is breath and movement, but the difference between this type of breath and movement and say what we're doing here, which is also standing meditation. So meditation, breath and movement, or breathing and the body, and sequential breathing and memory, or sequential breathing and movement. So in Tai Chi, it's called active meditation. And then breath and movement, the difference between that and regular Qigong is the conscious intent of your motion. So when we breathe, it's tied to inhalation, exhalation, like this is inhalation, exhalation. And exhalation is generally the issuing side of the movement, the force side of the movement. Like when you lift weights, you're told that typically the training would be to exhale on the power stroke. You don't want to hold your breath during the strong movement because you create internal pressures. That's how a lot of people get hernias, because they grunt and then they held their breath and they didn't release. So you can hurt yourself doing that. We actually have a breathing exercise that we do in Kung Fu that works with breath and movement, but a higher intensity of increasing the internal pressure, where you do go and you do this. So that's a kind of a strengthening of the innards. So breath and movement can be regulated because the change in pressure in your body is created by what? Do we know how that's created? This is to give you just some inkling about how this works. No, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about breathing itself. How does that apparatus work? It works by changing the volume of your thorax. It changes the volume of the cavity. So when you change the volume, because there's atmospheric pressure, it's like 14 pounds per whatever. That's always present because we're on Earth. So when you change the volume of your cavity, if it gets bigger, air comes in. When it gets smaller, air is going to go out. It's just a balancing mechanism. Right? So when we breathe, really it's opening and closing an orifice, which is, your nasal cavity, or this flap, like you control that. So we can hold our breath, and all that does is keep everything sustained. We can increase the lung capacity, or the other way that it happens is your diaphragm. Your diaphragm goes up and down. So when it goes down, decrease volume. When it comes up, it pushes the air out because the size of the... So that's how we breathe. We don't pay attention to that because it just happens automatically. But when you're doing voluntary movement and you're driving motion, changing the position and twisting your body and pulling in your stomach and letting it out, and pulling in your stomach and letting it out. Because if you watch an infant breathe, they breathe by opening the cavity and it comes down, and so the stomach expands like a balloon. And that's how a balloon fills it. You put pressure into it and it fills up. Then when you let the air out, it just deflates. So that's called normal breathing. In Tai Chi, we do a concept called reverse breathing, where you compress, your abdomen goes in, and your breathing comes in at the same time. So you change the pressure essentially. So that pressure gradient actually is how our muscles actually work. So your organs are actually muscles too. They kind of work when the change of pressure, it responds. So that stimulates circulation and also stimulates action in the musculature. We do that by moving, right? So that's why breathing and movement in Tai Chi with a conscious intent, it's always tied somewhat to how we move our body and how we expand and contract through the lifting and hollowing of the chest, the rounding of the back, the sinking of the energy, which is actually sinking your breath. So diaphragmatic breathing helps to support the sinking of that breath. And we're using energy anyways, because every muscle contraction is creating some type of energy to create a muscle contraction. But it's cycling, and it's happening on a cellular level. So you're actually burning energy and using it and then creating waste products. So we're doing that when we breathe, inhale and exhale carbon dioxide. We use it, what we use, and then we let go of what doesn't. In fact, when you breathe, most of the oxygen isn't absorbed in your body. A lot of it is expelled. Some of it is absorbed. But if you sustain it, your breath, and you do a deep breathing, then the oxygen exchange is probably better. You have a more efficient system. So that's why breath and movement is tied into our movement. And the long breath, what's the purpose of a deep breathing? You expand the cavity and you use that space to allow more air to come in. So it's shallow breathing. It's not because you're not utilizing the total lung capacity. In fact, we don't use most of it anyways. You know. So when it's stored or housed there, sustained, then the exchange can probably maintain better. So we have more control. So everything that we do is actually building voluntary movements through, motor skill and the mind connection. So you can imagine as the movements get more and more complex and more integration of body, the breathing mechanism becomes enhanced, even though we don't realize it because it's going to happen by itself. It's automatic. So does that help with the breathing? So then the other question was, how is Tai Chi meditative? Right? So do we know what the meditative side of Tai Chi is? Mara, what's the meditative side of Tai Chi? Well, what is meditation? What is meditation? Staying in the moment. So it's a consciousness of the position, right? So that's why when we do Tai Chi, we call it conscious intent, right? So your mind-body relationship is there. But we have one more thing that we do. We practice our movements till they enter a subconscious. So a long sequence like Tai Chi can take you for 15 minutes into a space of just doing movements. And it's not random. It's programmed into your brain. And it's a motor skill with muscle memory, but then there's a sequential memory. That sequential memory goes into subconscious behavior like we do everything that involves movement. And we go through life like this, just doing things over and over again, and then you get better as you do it. I'm sure the first dental surgeon, the students are not so good because they don't have enough experience. Right? So the thing is, when we're doing it, you enter that space, and then it enters subconscious, and then it becomes no-minded. So the no-mindedness part of it is the meditation side. So the active meditation is you're moving, you're going through the movements without thinking. But because Tai Chi is an art form that has to be refined, you will go into that's the level of no-mindedness for sequence, but definitely you have to bring in the mindfulness when you start to evolve and try to get the body to understand the concept that you bring in. Then it comes taking the principles that we talk about. Sink the elbow, relax the shoulder, the vertical spine, differentiating between the solid and empty, keeping the coxarea plumb, integration of your body. Movement should be round, even, and accurate. Jun, and it has a term called Jing or King, which is like an energy, but it's refined. So you refine your movement, and it becomes a skill. So Tai Chi becomes skillful on that level, then you really heighten all your sensory systems, because every sensory system that we have is actually utilized here in the proprioception as one of the sensory systems. So it's this, the somatic sensory system, which is actually involving your eyes and your ears and so forth. Because visually you see, you perceive. Audially you hear whether it's music or the names of the postures. So you learn through that. And then sinking the elbow, relax the shoulder, splitting. All the principles that we have that drive the movement are constantly being, analyzed as a perception as to what we try to do. And then you try to strive for perfection. But it's a struggle, right? So that's kind of what happens when you do form. It doesn't have to be just Tai Chi form. It could be any form. But the consciousness of the movement is in the intent when it comes to martial arts. But movement without those guiding principles, just random movement like flailing your arms, is not the same benefit, because it doesn't involve the neurons in the brain that actually have to be programmed to teach, the body how to do this. So, why an infant that just flails their arms doesn't get the same benefit, because they're not learning anything really other than that until it starts to be dialed in, like walking or crawling or picking up a spoon or anything else that they have to learn, namely mimicking, because it's not audio at that point, because they don't know any connection to words. What do you say? Uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. So generally, that's yeah, yeah, yeah. Right. So that's a generally that is the case. You lift up and you go down. So think of the balance, right? When you fill something with air, it gets light. It floats like a balloon, right? You fill it with air. Well, helium works better, but and then when you sink, it drops. So that's why the movement should sink and drop. But sometimes there's movements that actually are reversed depending on the action. So if you think of just issuing strength, like if I'm pushing, then you would exhale. But then you would think, well, pulling in towards you would be breathing in and then exhaling out. But if you move here, you could be breathing out, breathing in, and then pulling down to breathe out, because then you want to sink with that movement. In this case, I'm not sinking in the arms, but I'm sinking in the torso and the legs. But then if your elbows are here, and I drop my shoulders, then I'm sinking the elbows. So the sinking and rising has to be compatible, otherwise you have conflict in your movement. And then when you move right to left, is it right to left that's inhale or exhaling? Or is it right, shift your weight, exhale, inhale, exhale? Because one step is light, one step is heavy, one step is rooted, one step is... So all that stuff happens spontaneously in your action because of the balance and motion and the feeling that you have when you make your transitions, shifting your weight, moving your hands, twisting your body. So you can imagine how intelligent the mind gets from learning something that the average person would never be exposed to. So that's tied to movement. That's a lot of information, but I think it helps clarify why some of this stuff works. So, anything else? No? You want to work on something? We did something last time that we did to beat the tiger, and then wasn't there something else that you had a question on going near the end of the form? We did the ride the tiger last time with the footwork, right? How about Mara? How's your back? Back's good. So. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. So we do it in the mirror. So we're reversing the ball. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now this is where we have to turn the body first, and then find this position. Because if we don't turn the body to find that side after we reverse the ball, we are in the diagonal flying. So we have to sit back, lower this hand, and turn, and stroke down. So if you do that, that'll give you a setup time. So, see, when we're doing movements, if I just did it like this, you see this. This is just my arm. So you don't have an integration of the legs and the body. Whereas when you start to blend the slight twisting. So right there, when this went this way, you see nothing happens without something else happening. It's always a function of, right? So while we're looking at this hand and I'm turning, you look at this hand, your secondary hand, the sustained position is moving as well, right? So when we're going like this, right, we're going to go across and then level, then this picks up. So when this gets to here and it goes to here, then this one picks up. And then we're here. Then we're going to shift and go to the corner and then back to here and then turn. So that ties the lower half to the body much better. So you 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we turn. Just the body. Because when we come around this way and we sit back, the front foot will correct itself. Yeah, so here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you see the front foot. At the very end, it's coming. So we're here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So, between right and left, forward and backward, vertical and horizontal, all those pieces have to fit like a puzzle. So when the hand is here and I turn, right, and I turn, I'm here, I turn, so you're looking for all the little places that you've kind of muscle memoried. But some of those places haven't been memorized because it didn't know it was there. So so those become transitions. So the transitions, depending on which part of the transition you're in, has to be brought in as another piece. So when we're here and we go like this, 1, 2, 3, your parts of your body had to know when to do certain things because it's somewhat innate. Now, we do this, right, as strum the lute. This is strum the lute. But this is not strum the lute. This is just going into a stance. But it's not just going into a stance because that and the upper body has to unite. So that's the integration of body. So it takes a lot more feedback, from the body to here to know when and why and how it should happen. So all of those things has to, be deciphered up here. Because it starts to know from doing it, experience, and some visuals. But as you get into the fact that you're doing it, then you'll start to see more of it. You wouldn't be able to see any of this day one. It would have been you would have missed everything. So when you see the movement in the mirror, you see it's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Well, this one I actually did this way, which is a different transition. I went to the top to the bottom. So now, if you can go like this to here, or you can go like the silk reeling exercise and come to here. So both of those would be finding center, depending on which track you use, the lower track or the upper track. So this one would be using neutral position coming like this. This one would be coming from here, and then still finding vertical elbow position. And that's straight from silk reeling. So the silk reeling exercise builds continuity of movement and patterns and spatialness. And then carry tiger to the mountain really carries some of the other patterns. So when you go carry tiger to the mountain, you're like this. And we went up through cross hand position and then up to upper hold position, you would have the reverse of the carry tiger to the mountain. And when you're in a position like this, and we come into a cross hand position before the obliques, that's some of the pieces that you have to pull together, drawing off of something that you know. So there is, sort of a method to what we're doing that you don't actually understand in the beginning. So you have to draw off of things that you know in order to be able to understand, or the body to understand. But if it's 10 different things and you're trying to put it together and your body doesn't know any of it, then it's confused, and you leave with one thing, one item that you might have remembered. So that's it. That's 11 o'clock. We did the long one. Okay. So Peter, don't forget your hat. Don't forget your socks. Oh, they're there. Don't forget your yeah. And Maria, your keys are over there. All right. On that note, salute, salutation. It was more of a lecture than anything.